happening right now virtually. As you already know, the 20th Slim Brand Excellence Awards was launched last Wednesday under the theme Beyond the Next Frontier. So today, this workshop is organized to educate and create an awareness among the audience about the entry guidelines, the judging process, and the things that you know in order to participate into this grand event as a contest. So thank you for accepting the invitation, and we are really very glad that you are here today joining us virtually. So let me introduce the panelists for the day. We have Mr. Imal Fonseca, the head of jury for Slim Brand Excellence 2021. He's also the chairman of Multi Finance PLC. Good evening to you, sir. And also we have the project chairman of Slim Brand Excellence 2021, Mr. Mantika Ranasinghe, the manager of sales and marketing of Homeland Skyline. Good evening to you.
Good evening, and good evening, everyone.
Yes, and finally, we also have Mr. Dimitra Silva, the manager for events at Slim. So with these three personalities, we are going to have a productive awareness session today. As I mentioned in the beginning, we will be talking about everything that the brand custodians and the companies need to know about the Slim Brand Excellence 2021. That includes the judging process, everything that need to know. So we'll start from the project chairman, Mr. Mantika Ranasinghe. So we know that there's quite a lot that a brand or a company get by participating in Slim Brand Excellence 2021. As we all know, this is a national level competition. All the top brands, not just the top brands, even the small scale brands come in and compete with each other. So, Mr. Mantika Ranasinghe, what are the things that a company get by participating in such a contest? And what do we have to say to the audience about the things that they need to know about participating in such a grand event?
Yes, Nipune. I think you can hear my audio properly now?
Yeah, clearly.
Right, thanks. The objective of Slim through brand excellence is not only to recognize and reward the best performing brands in Sri Lanka, but also to help them continuously improve themselves by engaging the brand custodian in a scientific way. Actually, this Slim brand excellence application process also a learning thing. As your marketing team get the opportunity to present your strategies in front of this eminent panel, in return they would provide feedback on your presentation or on your case study, which could be a great guidance in developing or crafting your brands in future. Leading brands in Sri Lanka actually who have chosen to take part in brand excellence every year is a proof to my statement. If you look at the figures for past 3 years participation data, in 2018 we received 120 entries from 43 brands. In 2019, we received 110 entries from 47 brands. Actually, last year, we had 102 entries from 50 brands. We also, in addition to that, actually, a few months ago, we conducted research about the perception of brand excellence program, and we gathered many great insight from organizations which are not regularly participate for brand excellence. So we could identify 6 areas that they don't know or having some negative perceptions about brand excellence. I'll list it out. Number one reason or the area they do not know or they have a negative perception is about the jury panel and the transparency of the judging process. Number one. And number two reason they have mentioned is confidentiality of company data and data protection security protocols done by SLIM. Number three was believing those companies, some of the companies believing that they are lacking market research to support for this brand excellence entry. Number four reason was actually some of the organizations are happy with the way that they are performing, and sometimes the management does not understand the importance of taking part or the winning this kind of award. Uh, and actually, number five, fifth reason was they don't know what else is there for for the brand other than the recognition if they participate to brand excellence, right? And number six is a very common thing, believing that they are believing that application process is complicated. This is the biggest actually these six are the biggest misunderstanding that they had previously. uh, Honestly, the secret lies in understanding process. If a company attends the workshop or this kind of seminar, so workshop organized by Slim, they will understand the process from A to Z. Uh, Anyway, we have produced a 5-minute video clip to explain and make sure that you understand about these 6 areas in detail. Actually, this video featured by our Slim CEO, Mr. Sanat Senanayaka, and Mr. Imal Fonseca, our head of jury of brand excellence. I kindly request everyone to check our YouTube channel and go through this video. It's just a 5-minute video. So I'm sure that it will help to clear out any misperceptions you are having about brand excellence. Also, don't forget to watch this once you finish this workshop. You just go to our official YouTube channel and watch it. Also, share with your brand and your brand or marketing team. This is how, and I'm looking forward to you all take part in Stream Brand Excellence this year, and wish you all the best.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mantika Ranasinghe. So, as he very beautifully said, there's no need or there's no any requirement for any brand in Sri Lanka to be reluctant to pass their entry to Slim Brand Excellence 2021. Whatever the reasons have been identified in that particular video that the Slim Brand Excellence has prepared for you. So right after finishing this awareness program, this invitation goes to everyone in the audience. Just go to the YouTube channel of Slim Brand Excellence official YouTube channel and watch this 5 minutes video. You will get the clear understanding as to why you should pass your entry to Slim Brand Excellence Awards this year. So I think that video plus this explanation by Mr. Mantika Ranasinghe would really benefit you and make your mind to pass your entries to this year's Slim Brand Excellence. So while thanking you, we are now moving on to a presentation that is by the project the head of jury, Mr. Imal Fonseca, who is also the chairman of Multifinance PLC, and also the manager of events of Slim, Mr. Dimitri Silva. So this presentation will tell you everything about the judging process, the jury process, and everything you need to know about passing your entry to Slim Brand Excellence 2021. Over to you.
Thanks, Nipuni. I'll wait for the screen to come on.
Imal, can you see the screen?
Yes, I can.
Right.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Today is a Friday, so I'm not going to take too much of your time, but I will explain in as much detail as possible. And if you do wish to have ask any questions, please message us, and we will give that clarification ASAP. So I will first start with the evaluation criteria for the product brand of the year, the brand, the service brand, the local brand, the international brand, and the export brand, which are the main key categories, and the other categories which are online brand, turnaround brand, new entrant, most innovative brand, and B2B brand. Yes, please. Next slide. Okay, in terms of scoring, so firstly, 15% of the scoring is given to what we call brand intent. Brand intent is fundamentally is the explanation of where your brand, what your brand intends to achieve in the marketplace. If you can get to the next slide, I will explain the contents of it in detail. Next slide, please. Okay, so if you look at the brand content, it includes a couple of things. One is, for example, the form would say, what is your purpose, what is your vision, what is your mission, and this is basically what you need to explain. So I will just to let you know, basically, first I will talk to you about the theory of what it is. When you say purpose, what it basically means is what is it about what is it that your brand intends to achieve in the world? What is the whole purpose of it being there? That's fundamentally what that is all about. The vision is where the brand is going. And if I take Nike as an example, they don't have a purpose statement, but they have a vision statement. So the vision statement they would illustrate as to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. So that's where, as a brand, where they want to be in, right? Then, of course, what is the mission? Mission is fundamentally how you will go about achieving what is stated either in your purpose statement or in your vision. Now, please remember, this is not a check the box competition. Be honest yourself, look around your brand, and basically state where your brand is, what you intend to do with your brand, and how you intend to take your brand there. That's what this whole intent part is all about. Remember, you're evaluated by a jury of peers, not a jury of theorists or academics. So rather than looking at how you have filled the boxes, they would look at what you have presented in the spirit of what it was intended. Next slide, please. Yeah, next slide is the target market. Again, what we are showing you is how target markets are defined. They can be defined either based on age, gender, etc., or where you live by geography, what you do, etc., and your lifestyle. So there are fundamentally different ways, different brands and different companies would define their target market. We expect to see this, have an understanding of who your target market is, because as a group of your peers, when we start evaluating what you have done and what goals you have achieved, a good deep understanding of who your target prospect is very important for the jury. So this is so we are not again asking you to fill a box or a table, but clearly define the target market in as much detail as possible. Next slide, please. Okay, so brand intent was 15%. We have a similar weightage for brand content. This is again a very important part. I think, if I may say so, the brand intent basically sets the foundation for us to understand what your case is all about. Brand content really lays out the fabric of what your brand is, and it's fundamentally made up of three critical elements, which is the brand value, the brand personality, and the brand reflection. You may or may not have all these elements in your brand plan. If it is not there, don't worry. Again, I'm telling you, this is not a tick the box competition. You're not answering a paper. You're not given marks on how you answer to each part of the question. you will be scored in terms of how well defined is your brand. That is the brand values, the personality, or anything else. I think we have some examples also in the following slides. So this, for example, is the brand personality of Jaguar and Land Rover, right? So Jaguar, it's all about beautiful cars, desired the world over. I mean, from the iconic Jaguar itself, and the way it's designed and laid out, and in terms of the products as well as its advertising, it's always about seductive design. It's always about sporting luxury, right? It's about performance. It's about emotional engineering versus the core performance engineering of, for example, BMW, right? So here again, what we're expecting is a good understanding of what your brand values are. Next slide, please. Then the brand personality. Here is an example of various brands and the various behavioral attitudes that will define where the brand personality lies. The next slide, I will be talking about one example. So this is, for example, Virgin, right? So the whole personality of Virgin is built around the personality of its founder, uh, and what he is all about and what the brand is about flaunting the rules, right? Absolute sense of humor. It's absolutely outrageous at times, right? I mean, this is where the chairman of the company once dressed up like air hostess when they launched a particular route. I can't remember what it was, but so everything about the brand and every activity the brand does is built around what the brand stands for. Harley Davidson, on the other hand, daring, spirited, imaginative, tough. It's outdoor. That's. Now if you compare and contrast Harley Davidson to a Ducati, completely different personalities, right? So that's what that's what we expect to see. How distinct is your personality? Next slide, please. So that covers 30% of the scoring. Now we come to a very core process, core part of your application, which is the brand process, for which you will be given 40 marks. So here we will look at your strategy. We'll try to understand how you have positioned your brand versus competition. Uh, Fundamentally, end of the day, your brand is always attempting to gain a greater share of the consumer's mind, a greater share of the consumer's wallet, a greater share of the trader's shelves, right? So hence, you are competing within a category versus various competition. So we'll try to understand what your proposition is and how your proposition is position versus competition and how it's differentiated, right? So that's where we'll be asking questions. We'd like to understand what your point of difference is, if it's there, how distinctive are you, how defensible is your point of difference, for example. Those are questions we'd like to understand when we read your case. Next slide, please. So here is an example that's for everyone's benefit. This is for Victoria VS, for example. What is the fun? So if you look at it, this is how they have. So this is just an example. This is not how everyone is expected or required to present the value proposition, but just an example which you think works very well. So you have a functional benefit, you have an emotional benefit, and you have an expressive benefit, right? So it is the cumulative of these three benefits that go on to make the value proposition of this particular brand. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, point of parity and point of differentiation. I think I explained this in detail in the first slide, so we can move on. And I think just for understand, just for your comprehension, we'd like to share an example of points of parity and point of difference. So this is Mentos and Polo. If you look at the first column, these products are the same, right? It's a breath freshness, has a minty flavor, and has good packaging. What are the points of difference? So, for example, Rolo goes on this whole dental health foundation and distinctive structure, the mint with a hole, right? And Mentos fundamentally in the variety of their flavors and the soft center. Next slide, please. The brand identity, we have just given an example from Starbucks, which talks of a physical, part of the brand identity, the personality, relationship with relationships, culture, reflection, and self-image. So this is just an example of how a particular company and a particular brand has approached brand identity. Each of you will have your own distinct formats. You are most free to stick to those. Next slide, please. Yeah, let's go. Johnny Walker again, another example. Next slide. Levi's again, as I said, if you notice, everyone is different. Nothing is the same, right? What I want to establish is that you would have your own unique way of establishing your brand presenting your brand personality. Stick to that. There is no right or wrong answer. Next slide. So brand process again will continue. Critical things when you're looking at your marketing communication strategy, we would actually be really more compelled to give a greater score if the marketing communication strategy is based on insight, right? So if it's based on good insight, and therefore that's how the ideas etc. have generally been generated, that will definitely compel the judges to score your brands more. Next slide. Sorry, before I just want to again reiterate, if you look at all the bullet points, it's not a fill in the box strategy, fill in the box process, where we will look at the greater spirit of the application. Okay, brand performance. Listen, this is Slim brand excellence. So everything you have set up to now is great and good, but fundamentally your brand needs to have performed. You need to be able to show that your brand has done well. Here are some examples of how you can measure your brand performance. A combination of these is what we're expecting you to show us. How has your brand's value growth been? How has your brand's volume growth been? How has your brand's profit and contribution growth been? How has your market share grown? That's actually a very, very valuable measurement because it gives the comparative yardstick. Then brand awareness and various equity measurements, how have they done? Loyalty and customer satisfaction trends, how have they done? If you have that data, it will be very useful. Then brand recognition and brand reputation, I think there's a lot more, there's a few more equity measures. And then, of course, overall equity scores. All of that. So here, this is a critical part where we will, after everything you have said, now we'll try and figure out how that has actually translated results. Next slide, please. Okay, if you look at the CSR brand of the year, it's a much simpler process. We will give 40% for the brand intent and 60% for the brand process. The critical thing that we are looking for is that CSR is not being done for the sake of CSR, or it's not being done just to make attractive reading in the annual report. That CSR is a result of your brand strategy, and hence this is actually strategic CSR, and that the CSR strategy is intrinsically linked to what you intend to do with your brand. Next slide, please. SME, again, our scoring is slightly different to the others. Segment. So here we are giving somewhat simpler, some more simpler mechanisms. So we'll look at targeting and segmenting. So simple questions we'll ask. So what was the business opportunity? What did you go behind? For example, before you introduce your product, what were your customers buying? Is there a new need that you tried to fill, or were you filling existing need that in a different manner? Who is your customer and or your consumer? And why did you pick up your customer and consumer? Then SME also will be interested to understand how you decided on your brand name, what you want your consumers or customers to understand from your brand name, why your customers and consumers should buy your brand, and who your competition is. Next slide, please. And then the balance score for SME brand of the year, again, brand process is 40 marks, a similar score, and brand performance is 15 marks because obviously I understand that SMEs will not have all the data that we expect from the core categories. Yeah, so the brands, we will look at the gold medal winners from the core brand categories. That is the product brand of the year, the service brand of the year, the international brand of the year, the local brand of the year, and the export brand of the year. And if it's very, so we will look at the 5 gold medal winners. If one of the goals is a very clear winner, that is automatically that would be the brand of the year. Anyway, these goals, I think this particular slide, I think is from last year. So I mean, this year, what we would do is we would look at the goal winners of the 5 main categories, and that would come into a jury that will consist of myself, head of the blueprint committee, and the chair and the project chairman, and we would evaluate the 5 top goal winning entries and basically decide on the brand of the year. The question will come as to, for example, if there are 2 companies which both have won 2 gold medals each, etc., then we would take the average score of the 2 gold medals and decide on the winner. Next slide, please.
Yes, Imal, and I want to add one more thing. Right now, we are mentioning here gold, silver, bronze, but there might be categories who will not. The jury panel will decide they are not deserve gold. So then the jury will decide is it a silver or a bronze. So it's totally up to the jury members to decide about the medals. Am I correct?
Yeah, correct.
Right. Yeah. So brand of the year, already Imal explained it to you all. So I will take over from this the rest of the things. So award category definitions, we have 13 categories and 5 main categories and 7 special awards, like Imal said. Then main awards, product brand of the year, right? Entries must be suitable, like they are, if in the FMCGs, consumer durables, commercial, industrial, yes, you all can apply on the product brand. Then service, everybody knows. I want to touch on this a little bit. Entrance to be engaged in service providing intangible products, unable to touch, not having physical property, such as banking, insurance, telecommunication, then entertainment, education, leisure, investment, real estate, travel, transport, etc. Right? Those are the brands who can apply under service. So please, when you are applying for service, please go through the integrate properly and see are you all falling into this category. If you all have any questions, please call me, or you can speak to Imal even, or I can direct the question to Imal. Then from international brand, we have changed the international brand to global brand. So it's like the headquarters should be out of Sri Lanka, which they have to apply. There are a lot of examples, so you all know about it. And local brand, I don't have to explain much. It's a local origin. Then export brand. From here, you all are sending some brands to export other countries, so it's fall under export brand. Then innovative brand. Imal, can you just deliberate on this, on innovative brand? Imal? I think Imal's connection is lost. So innovative, like we are looking at a lot of innovations, like for the last 5 years, which I've seen when I was inside the panel, not as a jury member because I am the manager of events. So we have seen a lot of people like when they change a package or something, they say it's an innovation. No, it's not innovation. It should be something else. Not packaging. Changing packaging is not innovation. Okay. Then turnaround brand. Yes, we are looking at turnaround. There you have introduced it to the market, and there was a dip in 2019-20, and you have come back to the normal again in 2021. So that's called turnaround brand. So make sure when you introduce the market, for example, you have introduced the brand in 2019 or 18, but in 2019, 2020, because of the attacks or the COVID, the brand has gone down. Okay, this year the brand is coming up again. So you all can take that brand as a turnaround brand and you all can apply for that. Then the best new entrant is totally a new brand, which it was not in the market. This will apply. You can apply for this for like a brand called export. People who are doing exports also, they can apply under best new entrant. But make sure when you all are applying for that, this brand should not exist in that country when you are providing facts and figures. This brand should be a new brand, which is it was not in the market. Then B2b brand. These brands can also take as support service or ingredient to produce another product. For example, like we have what do you call flour, right? For example, flour. You all are giving those flour to a biscuit company or pizza company or something like that. So you all can apply under the B2B because straight away it's from business to business, not from business to customer. Then CSR, community social responsibility, where we are looking at the CSR, how they have done it. Like Ima said previously, we want to see what you all have done in CSR. So judges will be evaluating on that. Then online brand, as you all know, because it's a common thing right now with this pandemic. There are a lot of online brands coming up. Daraz, for example, Daraz, Pick Me, Uber Eats. A lot of people are using these days, even including me. Uber Eats, Pick Me, right? So under this category, they can apply for online brand. Then SME local brands, like we said, small companies, the turnover should be below 500 million. Who can apply under SME. If it's more than a 500 million turnover, they can't apply for SME. They will come under the normal brands. Then for SME export, just like I explained as exports, from here you will have to send it to some other country. Then judging process, I just want to elaborate on this specifically. First round judging will be when we get the entries. My team will be doing the screening, and I will later on show that what are we looking at in the entry form, right? So we'll be doing the screening, and if we see something is missing in the entry form, we will give you all 48 hours. We will send you all a mail, and we will give you all 48 hours to make that mistake or put that document, or maybe there's no signature in that, or maybe audit verification or research verification. We will give 48 hours to come back to us with that entry. Then after that, first round judging will be done by individual judges, right? This won't be a panel of judges. It will be individual judging where like Mantika said, data protection, because of data protection, we won't give these entries outside. Judges will come inside to Slim. They will sit in the boardroom. They will not discuss with each other because our doors are open. They can come inside and they will do their judging individually in first round. So they will mark it individually and they will score it. Then the head of jury will decide, for example, from product brand, he will decide what is the cutoff mark. Is it 70, 80 or 65? So basically we won't take below 60 for second round. That's the normal practice we have. So it's up to the head of jury because Slim will not influence the head of jury to make the decision. Head of jury will say, okay, product brand, this is the cutoff mark. They can go for the second round. So for service brand, same as it. Then when it's of second round, it's a final round judging, where we'll give you 15 minutes for the presentation. And you all can come with 15 minutes. Please make sure, like, without now, for example, I have seen this in most of the panels. A lot of people put a lot of videos rather than talking about their brands, right? So try to make the presentation really concise, and it's like to attract the judges, because for example, judges are judging from on a week, 2 weekends actually, right? Saturday, Sundays, they are starting from 9 o'clock until around 5 o'clock in the evening, right? So you all have to make sure that judges get attracted at the final round judging when it comes to presentation. So 15 minutes, and there will be 10 minutes question. So please make sure maximum use of that 15 minutes with your presentation, because I have seen in my previously, like, there are people who comes with about 6 to 70 slides, but they don't have much time to present it. So try to make it simple and a better way to understand, right? So transparency and confidentiality, like Mantika said, don't worry, don't get hesitated to send us the entries, because no one else can access this, because all the entries will be accessed myself, and there'll be only 1 or 2 team members from my team who will access the entries to do the screening part. No one else will have the access. Even for the project chairman, if it's conflict, no, he cannot access the entries. If he's, for example, if he's working for FMCG, he cannot access any entries from FMCG, but he has a authority to access the other entries, but no one else, only the jury members, right? And also, if there are conflict areas of the juries, now there are people from different companies, we will block the entry from the system where they cannot look into it, because we do online charging from the system. So we will block that entry where they cannot look at the entry. So they will step out of the judging panel in the second round, and the first round we will not give them those entries, because we will be moving out and will be giving to the people who is not in conflict area. And also judges, I will make clear of this. Judges, there won't be any biasness or anything, right? At the second round, judges will discuss among them how that brand perform well or not, but there won't be any biasness. So that's about it from my end, and I want to show you one thing that we are looking at. This page, if you hope you all can see this page, right? Please make sure to put the name and the address of the company, then the name of the brand, year of establishment of the company, then year of launch of the brand in Sri Lankan market. If it's international, it will be the international market. Then the size of the company. We have given the annual turnover less than 100 million. There are tick boxes you can put. Entry category. Please make sure that put the category, because some entries we have seen for the last couple of years, they won't mention the entry category here. Then origin of brand, is it Sri Lankan or international? Then the size of the brand. Right? And when you go through this application form, you will see the blanks where you have in the brand intent, brand, then I just want to take you all through one specific thing where a lot of people miss out this. Volume index and percentage. Last year we were looking at only the index, but this year the blueprint committee has decided you have to mention the index as well as the percentage. So for all the brands you have to mention that, and source of information definitely you have to put it. And if you all have any comments, you can put any comments in this box. Then the gross margin index and the percentage, market share index and the percentage. And most important document here, declaration form, right? Name of the applicant, name of the CEO, we want the signature, right? The rubber stamp, and the name of the auditor. Some people, some brands, sorry, not some people, some brands, they put the auditor's name, but there's no rubber stamp. Or the research data agency, they don't have the, they put the research data agency, but there's no stamp. So please make sure that the rubber stamp is a must to verify your document. So Nipuni, that's for me. So we can go for Q&A.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Dimitra, and thanks to Mr. Imal as well. So we need to remind the audience that the platform is now open for their questions. So I guess everything is so clear and understandable about the process, how you should pass your entries and how you should fill this entry application. So if anyone from the audience has any questions, they can raise now. And in the meantime, let me remind you that we do have a special video arranged exclusively for all the audience. Like the Slim Brand Excellence 2021 has decided to do this video to bring into attention as to why you should participate as a contest at this Slim Brand Excellence 2021. If you have any second thought, if you have any doubt or a reluctancy as to why you should participate in this, we kindly invite you to go through this video. It is just 5 minutes long. So it is on the YouTube channel of the Slim Brand Excellence. So just feel free to watch it and pass your entries after that. And also, we should remind that all our social media platforms, including Facebook and LinkedIn, are open for anything. I think all will be agreeing with me, like updates and everything happens on these social media platforms. So if you have any questions or clarifications to be made, make sure you use those platforms as well. So we do have one question coming in.
Nipuni, one more thing before you go for the
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah,
I
sure.
just got a message from one of the participants.
Okay.
Can we share this presentation? Yes.
Yes.
If you all want this presentation, please
Yeah,
contact
yeah.
Gangani. We are happy to share this presentation with you all. So then you can go through the presentation, and if you all have any queries, you can contact me or Iman to clarify anything.
Yeah, and another thing adding on to that, we will also be posting this particular workshop session very shortly, right, Mr. Dimitra?
Yes.
Yes.
Through
So
the
this
social
is
media will be
recorded.
present again.
Yeah, this is being recorded. So anyone from your company or any brand custodian who misses this today has the opportunity to view this entire presentation, the entire workshop very shortly, probably morning tomorrow. So pass this message as well if someone has missed this out. So I'll go to the first question that we have. In the product brand of the year application instruction to participants sections, there is a new point which we didn't see before. Okay, there's a new amendment. I think it is about that, which we didn't see before, and it's regarding main brand and sub brand kind of a thing. The 8 point. Can you kindly clarify the point for me? I think this is like referring to the application, right?
I will explain.
Okay.
I will explain fundamentally what that is all about.
Okay.
This is see, because there are house brands, there are corporate brands, and there are sub brands, right? So, for example, this was brought up by members of the jury in the last 2 years. That, for example, the example I have given or we have given in that form is, let's imagine that we are applying on behalf of Toyota Corolla or Toyota Prius. I think I said Prius, right? So if the application is due with Toyota Prius, we expect that all the data submitted is about Toyota Prius. So, for example, it's a positioning of Toyota Prius. It is the sales of Toyota Prius. It is the market share of Toyota Prius. And every activity you're talking about is about Toyota Prius. Now, for example, if Toyota, the big company, has gone and done a massive CSR in Vattada, that doesn't mean that it is part of the Toyota Prius strategy. That is part of the main brand's activity. So when you're presenting the case of Toyota Prius, you can't put everything that Toyota has done also into that case, right? So that's quite important because there are occasions that we see that some cases are padded up and padded up and padded up with a humongous selection of activities, only some of which are actually being done for that specific brand. That humongous range of activities are to do with the corporate brand or various activities of the company. So that is what we are saying. On the other hand, If what you're submitting is Toyota, then you can put all the activities that were done for Toyota. But if there were specific activities that were done for very specific brands, then again, that is not relevant. So fundamentally here, what you're saying is, doesn't matter which brand you have applied for. If you have applied for a particular brand, only give the data and information and activities related to that brand. So, for example, just because Toyota's overall market share has gone up from 20% to 23% has no materiality in the case. All that we are concerned is what is the market share movement of Toyota Prius. I hope that explains the question.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Imal. I hope the person who raised that question is clear about this. And if a further clarification is needed, we kindly request you to ask it from us, because we are ready. This workshop is exclusively to answer the questions that you have, and to make the relevant clarifications. And we do have one question, like it is asking for the contact number and the email of Gangis Gangani, who is handling Slim Brand Excellence from the side of Slim. So it is gangani.l at slim.lk. Gangani.l at slim.lk. And if I am to mention the contact number, it is 07032669688. 07032669688. I think it is clear to that as well. And moving on to the questions, we do have another question. It is, if formal marketing research is not followed by the company, what is the provision for that? We are not using the market research and all our market intelligence data. I think this particular question was answered at the launch ceremony as well. But for the benefit of everyone, Mr. Imal, let's clarify this particular question as well.
I mean, we fully understand that all companies don't subscribe to all the formal research agencies. We fully understand that. But we believe that every company must be having its own unique way of understanding how well you have done. You have your own in-house data in terms of your revenues and your profits and volumes, etc. But you need to understand how well have you done in your particular market. So how do you look at that? How do you figure? How do you, when you evaluate yourself within your company, try and understand how well you have done in a competitive environment? Because please understand that when we are in marketing and we are in brands, we are always competing for consumers' mind share, we are competing for trader shelf share, we are competing for consumers' wallet share. So one of the critical things is for us to understand how well are we doing in a competitive environment. So whatever data you use to enable you to understand how your brand has done better, please include that. That's good enough.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Imal, for this thing as well. But moving on to the next question we do have, it is with regards to the award category, Turnaround Brand of the Year. Should it be for one market or should it be for globally? So this is with regards to the Turnaround Brand of the Year award category. So I think Mr. Imal could answer to this question as well.
Ideally, it is much easier, and it can make a easier, it can be make a more stronger, more compelling case if it's all about one market. So I understand it might be a brand that would have turned around in a multiple of markets. My recommendation is that you select one of those markets, right? You select one of those markets and present. And when you look at those data, you look at what is the market that has the most compelling story, and you present that story. That's what I would recommend. Because remember, if you are trying to explain how your brand was turned around in let's assume 5 markets, you need to add on more and more data to explain that. And by the time the judges read the state of country after country after country after country, because the circumstances will be different, your strategy may have been slightly different, competition is different, your results could have been different. The case would become so overwhelming that it might not really inspire the judges to score high. Please understand, you're also working with a group of human beings just like you and I, right? They are no different. I mean, they are just jury members for these 3 days. Other days, they're doing exactly what you and I do on a day-to-day basis, right? So put yourselves in the shoes of the jury members, develop a case that will convince, inspire, and persuade them to score more for your case. So therefore, my recommendation is select the market with the most compelling case and present it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Imal. And I think I have a couple of questions Mr. Dimitra could answer. So that's a question. How many application books should we submit?
Kaushi, Nipuni, there is no applications book because this year it will be online like last year. So they have to submit through online on the system, which the system will be available by this weekend. So they can apply through the system only. But for SMEs, normally we used to get application forms. But this year with this COVID thing, we thought of not getting it. So you all can submit through online. Then from there, if we need to get copies, we'll take hard copies from there. But for the time being, you all can apply it online, not physically. Nipuni? So I think Nipuni's connection has got stuck. So I can see another question. Can we apply for 2 to 3 categories with the same brand? Yes, you all can apply under 2 to 3 categories with the same brand, but please make sure that is it the relevant category which you all are going to apply under your brand. You all can apply. For example, FMCG product can apply under product brand. If they are exporting, they can apply under export brand. Then local brand. Also, if there's a turnaround, you can apply under turnaround. And if you have done any innovations, yes, you can apply under innovations. If you have done a significant CSR activity, yes, under CSR, you can apply.
Yeah, that depends on what you pass your application to.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. That's another question with regards to the fee and the charges. I think you'll be able to provide an answer for that as well. Is there a participation fee applicable for the contesting brands?
Yes, there will be fee. If you are applying under one category, this is not for SMEs. This is for the normal brands. If you are applying for only one particular category, you will have to pay 30,000 plus taxes, current taxes in Sri Lanka. And if you are applying for more than 2 categories, it will be 25,000 plus taxes. We have not changed the entry fee or anything for the last 4 or 5 years. We are not changing, so it will be the same price. So that's the amount you have to pay. For SMEs, it will be 5,000 including taxes.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Dimitra. And I think one of the persons in the audience have a slight question with regards to the best turnaround brand. Actually, you briefed it, but that's a small question. Let me tell the question. During presentation, Dimitra said the brand should have not been in the market before for turnaround brand. But how could be it a turnaround if the brand was not there before? I think we will
I think they are. Yes, Iman, you can go ahead.
No, I think
I said for new entrant.
Yes, we will give a short re-explanation. I think
yes, Iman, go ahead.
Yeah. So I think what Dimitra was talking was new entrant, right? So when you're talking of the new entrant, then the brand should not have been in the market for more than 2 years, right? It should have been less than 3 years.
Yeah.
So that's what a new term. That's only for new entrant. But turnaround brand, there is no limit. It could have been there for the last 25 years. Last 5 years would have been absolute catastrophe, and this year you turn it around. So there's no limit like that. The limit is only for new entrants.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Imal. And there's another question that is with regards to the service brand of the year. So the question is how to identify the market share with accurate information. So with regards to the service brand of the year, that award category.
Okay. So for example, if you service brand depends on which category you're in. I mean, if you, for example, if I was in the leisure sector, I would have incoming tourist numbers. Sorry, if I was in the leisure sector, and let's assume that I was a Colombo-based hotel, you have the GM's report which comes out every month, which talks of the occupancy across the hotel. So that can determine my market share. If I was in the banking sector, then of course, then again I had the annual reports, etc., from which I can get the data. If I'm in the financial services, you have the annual monthly report again from the central bank. You can look at that data. So it depends on what you are. But for example, if you're in the business of I mean, let's assume that if as a service, okay, one of the services that I provide is a laundry. I have to run a laundry. It's very, very difficult for you to get market share numbers, right? So if you're in a category like that where market shares are not available, very little you can do. But for example, even if I'm in a quick service restaurant, right? We don't have a Nielsen report that goes out on QSRs in this country. But I can make some judgment calls, right? For example, if I'm on Uber, I don't know if you can figure out within Uber how many if there are any traction reports, etc., that you can take out. I am not sure. So I'm just giving some examples. But if you don't have, you don't have. If you have, try and use it. So that's basically what we can talk about.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Imal. And I think the next queue can be answered by Mr. Dimitra. This is with regards to filling the application form. Is there a maximum word count on the written application? Is there a separate application form format per submission from where we can get it? So, Mr. Dimitra, we will once again say about filling the application. So, this question is about the maximum word count on the written application that they can have. Mr. Dimitra?
Yes, Nipuri.
Word count. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go it because I'm just going through because we have given specific instructions in the intricate as well. Don, I will.
And Mr. Dimitra, how about the judging process? Will that happen virtually or a hybrid or whatever? Have you decided as for now?
Judging it will be a hybrid system actually, because like I said, first round, yes, it will be individual judging where there is no presentations. But second round, with the current situation, with the country situation, we don't know what will happen in another few months' time, because we are planning to have second round judging around December. So it depends with the country situation, because last year also most of the participants requested they want to come and physically present. Some people, some brands wanted to do it through online. So we are open for both.
Okay. And there's another question with regards to the CSR brand of the year. What is the relevance of giving brand business volume in categories like CSR? The person who raises the question wants to know whether it is a must to give this relevant information about the business volumes.
See, again, this is not the CSR awards done by the Chamber of Commerce. That's very different, right? And the goals and objectives of that is different. This is CSR as part of your brand strategy. This is part of the Slim Brand Excellence Awards, and CSR is actually part of the Brand Excellence Awards. Therefore, when we say CSR, they are looking at strategic CSR relevant for a brand. So we also, I mean, whilst we understand well and truly that CSR does not necessarily drive a brand's revenue or growth or market share by itself, it also plays a part in impacting the brand's equity scores, etc., and the brand's goodwill, and therefore, at some stage, it will start affecting brand's market share and revenue. So we are not asking for direct correlation between the strategic CSR project and the brand sales and volumes and market share, but we'd like to understand how the brand has also done at the time we were doing these CSR activities.
Okay, Ms. Tima, since we were talking about the CSR award category, there's another question I would like to forward it to you. So what if a specific product of a company has done a CSR under the corporate brand? So that is a question. Hope we can give an answer.
You can, but that looks, I mean, what I'm saying is, so for example, if I'm Persil, I'm the Persil brand manager, and I do an activity under P&G, right? So then it's no longer activity under Persil. So, for example, if the question is, if a particular brand has done an activity under the corporate brand, then that if it has been done under the corporate brand, then it's relevant to the corporate brand and not to the product brand.
Yeah.
So, just to make it very, very clear, if I'm the brand manager of Persil, and I had been asked to do a corporate a CSR activity under P&G, then it is not under Persil, it's under P&G. But if I have done an activity that is built around a Persil profession, then it becomes relevant to Persil.
Okay. That is clear. Thank you very much, Ms. Timal. And another question. This is coming from a company from the IT industry. So they are requiring service brand of the year. How to identify the market share with accurate information? If we don't provide accurate source, will we get less marks during the judging process? So this question specifically comes from a company dealing in the IT industry.
See, again, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, now if the I'm not well aware enough about the ID just to understand if there's any publications that you can get market share from. So I'm assuming after reading this question or listening to the question that there aren't any independent sources through which you can verify your market share, right? If that is the case, all you need to state in that market share box is that independent market share is not available for this category. That's fine, right? But
Yes.
as I said before, use some information you use internally just for you to understand your company is doing well. That's good enough. Nobody is going to be penalized. This is not an examination. We don't have a strict answer. I don't know what do you call those things. Marks for each answer, etc. Right? I mean, this is a collection of your peers who are evaluating. So don't worry too much. If you don't have market research data, that's fine. Just state. But I think it will be important for you to state that in your category, independent market share is not available. Because then, if any jury member decides to ask that question at a discussion among the other jurors, they can always point and say, "Listen, this category doesn't have market share. Don't worry."
Okay. Okay, I think that is clear to the person who raised the question as well. So I guess I have another question to Mr. Dimitra. This is about the time durations of the presentations. We had a couple of questions coming in, so thought of addressing all of them in one go. So the first question is, second round presentations, before it was 20 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. We have 20 minutes presentation slots this time as well?
Right. Actually, the blueprint decided we'll go it is 15 minutes, but just give us a couple of days. We'll put this back to the blueprint and come back to you all. Is it 15 minutes or because I saw about 2 or 3 people ask the same question.
Yeah.
So just give us about 2-3 days. By Monday, we will get back to you all with how many minutes. Is it 15 or 20 minutes?
Okay, okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Dimitra. And there's another thing, a question coming in. What is the time gap after first round and the second round, whether it's 2 weeks or 2 months, as per the question? So let us give a clear clarification to this as well.
Yes, Nipuni. There will be only 2 weeks after we decided that we are going to second round. From Slim end, either myself or one of my colleagues will send an email with specific guidelines and everything. We'll be given 2 weeks to get prepared for the presentations.
Okay, okay, clear. And in the meantime, if any brand custodian has any clarification, Slim is ever ready to answer their clarifications, right, during the process.
Yes, definitely. They can call us anytime.
Yes.
Because myself, Gangani, work till late until around 8:30 in the night. So anytime you all can call us.
Okay, and we reminded the people about the online submissions of the applications. So there's a small question coming in. Should we have an intricate design, the cover page, since it is an online submission? So things are becoming virtual, and online things are the new normal. So let us answer to this question as well before moving on to the next.
It's up to the participant. They can, if they want, they can put a cover design, or else they can just submit the intricate.
Okay. Okay.
But in this application form, we have.
I'm just saying, don't waste your time, man.
Yes, that's true.
I'm just saying, don't waste your time. I've sat through so many of these things. I know you put so much of hard work into doing a beautiful design, and it'll just get turned over. So don't waste your time. But
Yes,
we have no objection.
Yes, adding on, Imal, like I think 3 years back, we had for the best entry kit as well. We gave award for the best entry kit, but we got some comments from the participants saying that when they try to prepare the best entry kit, they don't have much time to fill the form. So we just took out the best entry kit award, actually.
Okay, okay. I think that explains it all. So another question is there. I think Mr. Imal could answer this. Export brand of the year. Are all the questions under brand process to be for the target market that we shall give? Are all the questions under brand process to be, I think, to be mentioned for the target market that we shall give?
Not really. No, when it's export brand, I think I understand what they're saying, because the export brand will be available in more than one market. So most of the brand architecture will be common to the international brand. Only certain questions will be very specific to the market they are operating in. So a combination of both will be fine.
Okay, Mr. Imal, I think we will need to do a small clarification on the export brand of the year once again, because we have a couple of questions. Why only one target market information is needed when we go for globally? So this is with regards to the export brand of the year award category as well.
I think there's a difference between markets you want to enter, right? That's your physical presence in various geographies, and target market. Target market are the consumers you intend to target, right? So, for example, company A will say that I want to be in 56 countries in the world. That is not your target market. That is markets you want to export to, and you want to be present in. But within those markets, I want to appeal to mothers with young children who are looking for wholesome dairy products. That is your target market. But having said that, I can also qualify myself by saying that this particular product may be used by mothers who are looking for wholesome dairy products in one market, and might be used by young men who are looking for, I don't know, something else in another market. So if that is okay, if you have two target markets in two different countries, it can be done. But usually that is not the case. When you look at most global brands, their brand personality and their target market is similar across most markets. There may be slight changes.
Yes.
But fundamentally the same.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Imal. So we do have one clear question. Let me present the question to you. I have a question about the time frame of the brand's existence in Sri Lanka. I am handling a brand that has been in Sri Lanka for more than 70 years, but our company got the distributorship 2 years back. So, is it applicable to apply for an award? I think this might be a question that some others also have. So, let us give a clear answer to this.
No, it is applicable. I mean, it is applicable. There's no restriction. You can't enter it as the best new entrant. That is the only issue. Otherwise, you can enter it. There's no restriction at all. It can be most innovative brand. It can be best turnaround brand. I mean, I'm assuming that the mark brand was in this country for 70 years. Last 10 years, it really had a bad deal. Therefore, they moved the distributor to your company 2 years ago. And since then, you have really turned it around. And now it's #1 brand in your category. So good story for turnaround. No problem.
Okay. And Mr. Imal, there's another question coming from the B2B context. In a B2B context, where the market is shared by two key players, can we justify data related to the market share only with the annual sales data and total market size published by a governing body when there's no recent research data available?
Yeah, I mean, if you have data published by a governing body, that's perfect. I mean, for example, if you look at prescription pharmaceuticals, right? There's no retail audit done for prescription pharmaceuticals, but there's a publication called MIMS that gives market volumes across various categories. So you can, and that's so that type of report can be published and quoted.
Okay. Yes.
And Nipuni, I just want to give an answer because I missed to give the answer.
Okay, sure.
Regarding the intricate, how many there's a limit for the entry submission. Yes, we are maximum 25 pages. They can submit because please understand that at first round judging, there's no presentation. Judges have to go through the intricate, right? So if it's about 35 or 40 pages, like judges will be like they have to read about at least 30 to 40 entries. So that's why we have given clear instructions in page number 6 in the entry kit, right? Maximum pages not exceeding 25 pages. So
Okay.
please make sure that you are stick for 25 pages when you submit the entry form. This is not included in the annexures. For example, there will be photographs or anything like that, which they have launched the brand as of. They can put those. Excluding the attachments, the entry kit should be not exceeding 25 pages.
Yes, okay. I hope that is clear. And another simple question coming in. I think most of the newcomers might be having this particular question. The question is, can we apply for 2 to 3 categories with the same brand?
Yes, I think I answered that question, Nipuni, before. Yes,
Okay.
they can. Right? They should know, go through the integration properly, and they should see is that brand is falling under that category. If they have done an innovation, yes, they can apply under innovation. If there's a turnaround, yes, turnaround. Okay. And if
So
it's a product
that's,
brand, yes, you can apply
yeah,
the product. There are a lot of
no
categories which
barrier
you
as
can apply.
such.
But
Yes.
yes, no barrier as such.
Okay, the answer is clear. Thank you very much, Mr. Dimitra. And there's another question coming in. Competitor data, equity increase. Can we give past years, that is 2019, instead of this year, in cases where we don't have access to recent data? Mr. Imal, would you be able to answer this particular question?
I can.
Yes.
So fundamentally, this since this competition is related to this particular period, you should technically only give data related to this particular period. But for example, I mean, I understand it's a pandemic situation. Maybe they don't have data. They can give some data points from last year and do extrapolation and estimate for this year, but clearly indicate that this is an estimate for this particular year, right?
Okay.
Based on their judgment. That's fine. I mean, we have to be open to different. I mean, we have to be open to innovative approaches these days.
Yeah. Exactly. And Mr. Imal, that's the continuation of a previous question with regards to this company who got the distributorship recently. So the same person has raised another question. So regarding the above distributor change question, is it all right to put the sales data for 2 years since the entry kit says 3 years?
Yeah, again, I mean, listen, it's circumstances, right? We are
Yeah.
assuming that this company has been there for a long time, so you will have 3 years data. So you can actually put 2 years data, and the year before, you could say that sales data is not available because this was a distributor brand distributed by a different company, right? Ideally, your principal should have shared the sales data with you. Uh, if you don't have, listen, just say you don't have, that's okay. It's just that if you had the data, your case would have been even more powerful.
Yes, exactly. And Mr. Imal, there's another question. What if we are a B2B exporter? Can we give the end target consumer details of our customers and market data of direct customers?
Yeah. So if you're a B2B exporter, then your customer is actually the business you're exporting to, right? So let me give an example. Uh, if for example, if I'm exporting coconut milk, right? And my objective is to market coconut milk to customers such as Trader Joe's. I can define Trader Joe's and customers like that as my B2B market. I don't have to worry about the consumers who come to Trader Joe's, right? Because most probably I'm supplying a private label brand to Trader Joe's, right? And therefore, because I'm a B2B supplier, right, I don't have to worry about the consumer. My customer is actually Trader Joe's and people like that. So you can define the target market like that and talk about your B2B customers. Don't worry about your B2B customers and consumer.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Imal. And I think that's another question. We have given the answer. The total number of pages 25 is without the appendices. Yes, right. Appendices are not included in the page count that we are referring to. Right, Mr. Dimitra?
Yes, that's why I
Okay.
just
Yes.
type on the message box as well.
Okay, okay. And we have another question. I think Mr. Imal could answer this. If an international brand servicing the local market and international market, then what category we should apply from? If an international brand servicing the local market and the international market, then what category we should apply from? Mr. Imal, could we give an answer?
Just Yes, yeah. If you're an international brand, you can. If you're an international product brand, you can apply under product brand of the year, and you can international apply for global brand of the year. You're eligible to apply for both. You are not eligible to apply for export brand of the year, however.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Imal. I think we have answered almost all the questions raised by individuals in the audience. And let me remind once again, the whole workshop, awareness workshop recorded video will be available on social media platforms tomorrow, by evening tomorrow for sure. So if anyone from your organization or from another organization has missed this out, just let them know that this recorded file will be available for them to access tomorrow by the evening on our social media platforms, spectacularly. on LinkedIn and the Facebook platforms as well. And let me remind you once again, the entry kit is already available on the website, so you can always download it and go through the entry kit, because we have done some changes there. So go through it, and if you have any clarifications to be made, make sure you contact Ms. Dimitra, Ms. Gangani from Slim, or even you can contact Mr. Imal, the head of jury. And you can, if you have any questions, make sure you post them on our social media sites, especially the Facebook and LinkedIn, because the team is ready to answer each and every question that you have with regards to the Slim Brand Excellence 2021. And also another reminder, Mr. Mantika said in the beginning, there's a video that the Slim Brand Excellence Committee has exclusively prepared for this year as to why you should consider participating in Slim Brand Excellence 2021. So make sure after this workshop, you go to the official YouTube channel of Slim Brand Excellence and just view this video, because it is sure to be informative, educational to all of you who are willing but have this small reluctancy in you to pass your entry to Slim Brand Excellence. And yes, we have one last question though. I think Mr. Imal could answer this. How is the brand recalled in the consumer's mind? If as an exporter, we should consider distributors as our consumers, B2B, should we explain how the brand is recalled in the contributor's mind?
Well, brand, it depends on, brand recall generally is asked as a research question for FMCG and consumer brands. If you have had done any B2B research, it'll be fine. But other than that, I'm not really sure how you could get recall, have data on recall questions with B2B customers. Unless, to have recall questions, you should have had a regular research study being conducted. I hope that answers the question.
Yes.
It's very difficult to give recall data for B2B unless there's research.
Yes, so the audience, people in the audience might be having questions, more questions like this. So we are ready as the organizing committee. Mr. Imal is ready on this from the side of the jury to answer these questions. So you just have to raise these questions on our social media platforms, be it Facebook, be it LinkedIn. All our social media platforms are open to answer your questions. And also I've mentioned the email address and the contact number of Ms. Gangani. So make sure you contact her and know the relevant information. She has all the information with her. And so one final reminder about this video. So this informative video as to why you should participate in Slim Brand Excellence this year is available on YouTube. Make sure you have a look at this video on our YouTube channel, and then you will have a clear understanding as to why you should pass your entry this time. And this particular workshop awareness session, this will also be uploaded on our social media platforms by tomorrow. So if any of you guys miss this opportunity, make sure you rewatch this tomorrow when this is uploaded. So with that, I would like to conclude today's session. So let me thank Mr. Imal Fonseca, the head of jury, for being here with us today and for answering each and every question with full of detail. Thank you very much. And also thanks to the project chairman of Slim Brand Excellence this year, Mr. Mantika Ranasinghe. Thank you very much. And thanks also to the manager of events of Slim, Mr. Dimitra Silva. Thank you for being here and answering the questions that the audience had. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are concluding today's session. So hope everything is clear. If there is any clarification to be made from the side of the Slim, they are ready to clear all your doubts and all your questions. So make sure that you pass your questions, and let's make this Slim Brand Excellence 2021 a big hit this year amidst the challenges. So you all can also do whatever your brands are. This is the exact opportunity for you to stay powerful in the marketing fraternity, in the industry, and go to the next level. So congratulations to all of you guys, and good luck to you with regards to Slim Brand Excellence 2021. And with that note, ladies and gentlemen, we'll wind up for today. Thank you for joining. Thank you for all your questions and attention. Good night and have a nice day. Thank you very much.